The What's Neat This Week podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you. Additional support is provided by Oak Hill Model Railroad Track Supply. Check them out. Their website is ohrtracksupply.com. Further support is provided by Athearn Trains. Check out all the new monthly announcements at athearn.com.
3, 2, 1.
Tonight we're going to be talking about some new Athearn locomotive. Mike brought in some new product, as well also a project that he's been working on. Daniel Coombs has something he wants to talk to Ken about with his magazine cover. Good old Ken Patterson has a laundry list of stuff to talk about. Coming up next.
This is the What's Neat This Week podcast for January 20th, 2018. This is show number 24. My name is Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And this evening I've got Daniel Coombs with me, I've got Michael Budde, and I've got Chris Palomares and Dirk Reynolds behind the camera. Thank you very much, Dirk. And we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. We haven't done a show in 2 weeks. Yep. Because last week was the week off. Now we're getting into a show schedule, a new schedule where next week we're not going to record a podcast because that's the week where I've got to finish the video for Joe Fugate over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. They've moved my deadline up to the 5th of each month to have the show done. So March has got to be done in 10 days. So we will do a podcast following that. Although I do think that we're going to run a podcast next week. It'll be 24.5 where I've got a very special interview with Kevin Rubel that I'd like to run for that podcast. I've gotten permission to run that on the show. It's very educational, very business, and very model railroad. You're going to love that. So Chris, tell us about something that we shot today that's new and exciting. We've got an exclusive on this show. For the very first time seen anywhere in the United States is the brand new Athearn 3900 class Challenger steam locomotive. This is an absolutely exquisite model. We shot it inside today. We weren't able to shoot it outside, but Chris, tell us about this model.
It's the CSA-1 and CSA-2. We also have the 3800 series. There's several key points about this model that are different over, the 3985. A lot of guys are pretty familiar with the Challenger that's in the excursion service. It's still running. But these are a little bit different. The hatches on the roof are obviously different. The tender's completely different. It's a shorter tender, has trucks instead of the centipede design. Also, there are a number of boilerplate details going on the front of the smoke box, and then underneath it has the boiler tube handrails and
Look
stuff
at those
like
hatches,
that.
Dirk.
It's a pretty radically different locomotive in appearance. And it predates the centipede design tender 4664s. So
also today we shot this other diesel locomotive that you brought over, Chris, and this we do have outside footage of you filming this locomotive.
Yes, we do.
What is this called? What's the technical description of this?
SD60E.
Daniel, you got it. This is the rebuilt SD60 that Norfolk Southern. They started their program, I forgot exactly when, but earlier 2000.
Look at the nose on that.
And they had their own proprietary design cab that's pretty much exclusive to Norfolk Southern. And this particular model, there were several different heritage locomotives that were added into the fleet. 911, I believe, was the first, and then it was the 6920.
The honoring veterans.
And then the Go Rail one. Right. Right now, we're debuting 911 and also the black SD60E right here. Shares a lot of the same details, but there are differences between the two. This one does not have the PTC antenna array. This one has an earlier design with a twin Sinclair.
Does it have a removable roof on it?
Yes, they do, but these do not have it just as a
and
pre-production thing.
You're using magnets to attach roofs, aren't you?
Yeah, a lot of that is like our SD70AC.
I think that is so neat. I didn't even know that until just about 4 months ago. I lifted the top off of one of the roofs. Because I looked in the box and it had an extra roof in it.
You
I'm
do
the
know-
last one to find these things out, you know?
You do know they were on those Purcell EMD lease
I
units.
didn't know they came off.
I mean,
All I know is
so-
it's neat. They're held on with magnets, and that's really cool because we did an N-scale layout coming up in the Model Railroad Hobbyist February show coming up. We do that N-scale layout that's held together with magnets, which has got Joe Fugate really coming up with different ways to try to design layouts now that he's been the first one to see the video, so he's got a head start on all of us. But we built the layout held together with magnets, and then in March we're going to do it in an HO scale layout. Jason Quinn comes over and shares with us his weathering techniques for weathering the roofs of boxcars.
Right.
Jason is a magnificent artist.
He is.
And I love it. Mike was there and Daniel was there for that video. They're both in it, and he shows us all how to weather boxcars. And we also take a tour of Gerald Stiles' ON30 layout. Gerald is one of the wonderful employees working out at Caboose, that hobby shop in Lakewood, Colorado. And we get to see his beautiful ON30 layout in a February video, along with some neat drone footage from Stephen Conroy. And we also get to see Kevin Rubel's home layout, which is a 2,000 square foot plus layout that's got its own dedicated building that he built for the layout itself.
That is
It's
a lot
an
of layout.
absolute
Good
treat
grief.
to see the starting phases of this Monon layout that he's developing. So that's the lineup for February.
All right. Well, if you don't mind. Well, you know what, Ken? As last podcast, I found one of his November 2011 articles where he did Kinswick.
Again?
Well, no.
What is this one?
Is your December 2012, your BLMA.
Oh, that's Dave Davis's
150-foot,
Chicago Northwestern snowplow that he weathered up. That's right. And we shot that on a Central Valley bridge. Hats off to our friends out at Central Valley. And that was the cover of what issue?
December 2010.
That was a
Model
neat bridge
Craftsman.
that I
Let's
didn't
see.
melt.
Yeah. So, I was just looking again at my magazine stash, and I look at it and I think, wait a minute, this looks like Ken Patterson's work. And I said, I read it. It says Birch replacement. Ken
You're just
Patterson's
doing
layout.
that because you like me.
Yeah.
What do you got going on, Mike? I see you got a lot of stuff here.
Well, I'm still working on my ongoing stack pack projects. I got a few more of these done.
And this is what they hold Cadillacs in, right?
Yeah. I made a master for the roof, and then I resin cast the roof, and then I made the rest of the thing out of styrene sheet, evergreen styrene sheet. And I got a couple friends that are also modeling these, Seth Wetzel and John Dietz, and I'm getting some parts together to send them real soon, so hang in there, guys.
This one appears to have multiple decks in it.
Yeah, they all did. I didn't put the decks in most of
Oh,
them
okay.
yet, but I actually have those old Bachmann Cadillacs. I'm probably gonna put those in there because that's about all they're good for.
Monkey.
Hey, what's the deal in this
Yeah,
boxcar?
okay.
Why is it?
These
What is
are Spring Mills Depot can stock cars.
Spring Mills Depot. Is
Why
that
is
a
the
new
roof-
manufacturer?
why
or
is it
I had
door?
never heard of them before, but I think they've been around
Spring
for a while.
Mill?
Yeah. But anyway, these cars, I've noticed them around for a long time. They have the offset door in a really odd position, and it turns out that's the best way they can use the forklifts to load these big steel coils of can stock that they make cans. And so they'd put one here, they load the rest of them up, and then they could put the last two there and close the door.
Why has the roof got a white panel on it?
That's fiberglass, because when they got down to this end of the car, it was so dark in there that they could
Oh,
let
wow.
light
A
in
light
there.
panel.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
What,
these are
what a
really,
very interesting
really nice
model.
models. I just got these today, so
I have never
I'll leave
seen
them here so
anything
you
like
can
this
take
before.
pictures.
You know, it's got the railing on it for the door to slide, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
separate door
I
tray.
tried to model that once out of brass.
That is nicely detailed.
Yeah, they are very nice cars.
Good grief.
So
Something came to my attention this week when somebody in my email asked me a question about what kind of foam did I like, what density did I like. And I was quite frankly unaware of the fact that there was density in foam until last 2 weeks ago when I built the Athearn turntable diorama for the trade show. And I couldn't figure out why that foam felt a little softer to me than normal, as where I had indentations on top that I had to body fill over on the flat table
Right.
layout so that it would look smooth. So there is a difference. When you go to the Home Depot, you'll see the Owens Corning pink foam comes with a number of 150 on it and 250 on the other. There's two types that I got at the Home Depot that are 2 inches thick, 150 and 250. And the difference between the two is 250s is a little bit more dense. They make something called 1000, which I've never seen, but it's on the Owens Corning website. 1000 is very dense foam. So there is a difference in foams, and I didn't know that, but they also discuss in their literature about foam shrinkage and deterioration in UV light and all of the experiences that we've kind of had ourselves through self-discovery. So that's just interesting. If you guys are interested, check it out. Owens Corning has got a pretty detailed website.
Well, what else are you going to talk
We got
about?
news from Kuwait. Gerald Maybury and his buddy sent us photographs of their trains on the wall, and they also like Garden Railroad large-scale trains. And they also sent us a video clip for the What's Neat show where they both say that you're watching What's Neat. And this is all from Kuwait, and we really appreciate the wonderful footage. It was
Man.
Thank you for contributing that.
You have to zoom in on that later.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, we'll get a shot of that.
Well,
You've already seen it as usual.
They sent us some video, though, of real trains or their model railroad?
Yeah, it was their Garden Railroad.
Oh,
It was
okay.
one of the clips that I do remember. The Garden Railroad is kind of neat. They had a
we
little
gonna get to
fun
see that?
on it. Yeah, there's a 27-second clip that I'm trying to talk my way through right now, but there's a wreck at the end that's kind of cute. But thank you very I didn't know they had green grass in Kuwait. I thought it was all sand.
hey, us model railroaders are out everywhere, okay?
Where there's water, there's green grass.
Right.
And to fill some more time, and I didn't look at the clock to see what time we started tonight, but we have to keep in mind that Jeff Otto over at Oak Hill Model Railroad Track Supply is the sponsor for the What's Neat show, What's Neat This Week podcast, and also Athearn is the sponsor starting in January. And I realize this is January, but we don't have our opening graphic work yet from Athearn.
We'll get there.
But thank you very much. Check it out. Jeff Otto's website is ohrtracksupply.com. And I talked to him a few minutes ago on the phone, and the podcast that we ran 2 weeks ago created a lot of business for Jeff.
Good.
So everybody's paying attention and really with great enthusiasm buying his product and using it now for their modeling.
And you know what, this idea of just renting your tablets and buying it, and let's say you just only build like 3
He's
turnouts.
renting them.
and-
He's doing
Right.
custom work for
That's a
people.
great
I think
where
really
he's
that
building
saves his
turnouts.
consumers money, but then that
Right.
also gets his business increased because then
Yep.
you're just renting it for a certain amount of time, then you just ship it right back. So
Right.
I think it's kind of cool.
I want to give a shout out to Hal Miller at Kallenbach Publishing at Model Railroader Magazine. I went to the grocery store the other night and picked up a new copy of Model Railroader, and it's
What a
got
cool cover.
It's
Yeah.
got a beautiful
Gone
new
Alcos
format.
and E-units and
What
all
a
that.
gorgeous cover! What a great photograph
So they-
by I think this is who shot the picture.
They lost the blue background on the
Stephen
banner.
Stephen Kreis, that photographer that I'm very familiar with. He's been doing model railroad photos for over 20 years. If you ever see his work, he lights his photos from one side with special lighting. It always looks fantastic, Stephen. And this is the cover. The blue banner is gone. Now, it's not going to be gone all year, but it's a neat new format. So hats off to Kallenbach for doing a great job with this February issue of Model Railroader Magazine. I happen to have a photograph in here. The Bachmann Easy Track ad was in here, which has been running for over 15 years, which got me thinking about something the other day, and that's one of my more favorite shots, and I always like to do this because it gives us a chance to put a picture over the screen, is this narrow gauge shot. It's just a beautiful shot of,
C-19.
yes, running just a beautiful location. So other than that, somebody help and save me because I just ran out of stuff to
Well,
talk about.
hey,
other
Chris,
than
you were at a show last week.
Yes,
Which one
I
was
was.
it?
I was over at World's Greatest Hobby in Charlotte.
beautiful segment.
And before that, over in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. And hats off to the trainshow.com guys. They put together one
Randy
heck of a-
Bachmann.
Randy Bachmann put together a really good show. It was really well attended.
I've got pictures of Charlotte right here.
You got pictures of
And
Charlotte.
you've seen them right
There's
now on your
you.
screen.
I see you in the Athearn booth right there with your back to the camera.
Yeah. There was when people come up, you get kind of two folks. One that want to talk about product, and the other are saying, "Hey, I saw you on What's Neat." So
That's neat.
It is absolutely cool to be able to meet everybody and chat with them. I appreciate everybody coming up and getting to know everybody that's out there and what their interests are. It's been a phenomenal experience just being able to get out and on the road and stuff. But one of the things that I found over at like a train show was this one company that does T-shirts, and I'm a freight car guy. Mike's a freight car guy, And you can see the Bethlehem Steel. It's a steel manufacturer that started building freight cars. In Athearn's line, we have the F89, which became the basis to the auto rack designs and stuff. And Mike mentioned it to me, so hats off to Mohawk Designs out there. You can go to their website.
This is one of their sweatshirts. I just got this in the mail yesterday.
How do you like it?
Oh, I love it, man.
It comes
Look
that
at the-
way? It looks like you washed it already.
No, man, it came like that.
No, it comes like that.
It's already a pre-weathered shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Pre-weathered shirt. How about
so
that?
You need to get
I really
yourself
like
one.
it.
I'm wearing
Wait
these
a minute, I got a
Carhartts.
whole closet full of pre-weathered shirts I could sell you guys.
Yeah, so check out MohawkDesigns.com, and they have quite a few different railroads. They also have piggyback service, and this is some really iconic photography
Right.
and imagery from the railroads when they were trying to make their comeback, in the early '80s and stuff. So
They
Did
have
we-
a trailer train. That's the one I want to get.
Did we get off the Randy Bachmann thing? Because there was something in my head I wanted to say about that. And
Well,
it's
what's that?
amazing what he has done for the hobby. Between that and the world's greatest hobby, if you do it all on your fingers, you can't do it on two hands. They've got so many shows. And one given show that he was mentioning to me about in one certain location, I don't remember what city it was, where they took 900 TV spots, 900, for their little short commercials that they run
Right.
for advertising the show.
900.
You talk about a way to promote the hobby to the general public. That is the way to do it. And that's what we want. That's how we reach the Daniels of the world. Is through those great type train shows. What are they called, Dirk?
Great train show.
That great train show.
well, and the ones that we go to are the world greatest hobby.
Yeah,
Okay.
world greatest
and
hobby.
that is strictly focused on engaging new people into the hobby and supporting their interest coming into it.
But isn't it also just looking at the manufacturers that are out there?
Well, it's getting to know the different scales, the different manufacturers, developing
Right.
awareness to the brands. It's awareness to product that's out there. They also have just fun things going on too for kids too, including like a Thomas ride. And one of my favorite
layout.
stories out of Monroeville was there was this kid. He must have been about like 5 or 6 with his mom, and he was there, with a milkshake. And we were telling him about all the different layouts that we saw there. And he's like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. G scale. All right, yeah, cool. O scale. All right, yeah, neat. But there's a Lego layout way over there. His eyes got wide open. I thought he was going to spray like milkshake out his nose and drop it. He was just like, where do I find that? And we told him, and he even just made a beeline right for it. So, I think it's great that there's an entryway for everyone out there.
Yeah.
That there's like they can bond with whatever, I guess, scale or way to enjoy it. Lego is awesome. Some of these guys, they build like SD40-2s.
It's
I don't know.
insane, but I tell you what, it's
It's
detailed.
very serious.
There's a show this weekend in St. Charles. I don't know which one it is, but they
That's
have a
the
big.
Great Train Show.
Okay, they have the big Lego layout there.
Yes, so
It's
Is that
popular.
Oh, it's next weekend, right?
next weekend.
Yeah. Okay. I might. Make
Also,
that
don't
one.
forget about the Great Midwest Train Show in Wheaton, Illinois, every month.
That's in Chicago, yeah.
That's a Randy
That's a big
Bachmann
show.
production.
Is
and
that
it
right?
is something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his hands full.
Yeah.
But thank you, Randy, for everything that you do for the hobby. You've extended an invitation for us to take What's Neat to one of your shows and kind of cover it and talk about the history of it and this and that and get some footage of it. And I'm looking forward to working that in our schedule with you.
Well, if I can make it, I could be one of your reporters.
I
Correspondent.
checked my voicemails the other day. See, they went back to November 22nd. So I returned Randy's phone call from November 22nd, Saturday. So, yeah, I just
2
caught
months.
up on, and now emails are
2
next. I'm going to get
months.
around to emails eventually. I don't know what else to say, guys. I'm running out of stuff. I know that we are probably close to time, and we're going to run some trains tonight.
I mean, real quick, Dirk and I did do a train show today in St. Charles, and we did get hit. I think 10 people came up to us, and 4 of them were like, Daniel, just you're a DCC Tech whiz. That's all I got to say, And because
Are you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, you think of it this way, to where this is my age of technology, and it's just, I've known about it since 2011, but I've researched so much about it that it's like everyone would come to me and just ask me, oh yeah, what's this CV value do, or how do you get this speed match with the decoders? And I just tell them, and they're like, okay, sounds good.
I do it a lot on Facebook where he'll get on. Gentleman will ask something, somebody will ask something about DCC. I just type in Daniel Coombs, highlight it, it goes straight to him, and then I watch the replies.
So it's no mistake the DC out of DCC stands for Daniel Coombs.
Daniel Coombs.
Nice.
I heard that. That was funny. That was nice.
Okay, yeah, I know. So,
Yeah, right.
anyways, Mike, Chris, anything else?
I don't have nothing more to contribute, but thank you everybody for watching. Like, dislike,
Yeah.
leave your comments below.
And
subscribe.
questions. We really want questions.
You know, if you guys like the live forum, we can make arrangements. You know, maybe plan out a week ahead and maybe come up with a routine. So please comment on that.
And I don't have to edit that.
Yeah, and during the downtime when Ked needs to hunker down and edit, we could probably do like an hour-long forum where we're taking all your questions and stuff. So
They're serious about my What's Neat schedule. If I'm not on time on the 5th, they will skip a month. And so that means all the sponsors that bought space on the show, I got to pay them back.
yeah.
So that ain't going to happen. I'm going to be on time. I don't care if I'd like to get ideally a couple months ahead anyway. I just don't want the time material to be too dated. But that's what this is for. This show is to keep you updated every single week on what's going on. We do this 3 times a month. We take 1 week off every month, right before the What's Neat show's done, because it takes me 10 days to put that together.
Yeah.
I'm talking too much.
So bottom line, if you like the forum, let us know, and we can work around that.
You know, I can set up a Facebook poll. I know how to make a poll to where we can say yes, like have one section where it says vote yes for live feed or no. So, you want to try that out?
We'd have to do it more professional.
We
The
gotta
last
do it a
one
little
we
bit
did
more
was kind of loose around the edges because Joe Fugate watched it and said he was about to click off of it about 20 minutes into it. That we were getting up and walking around and this and that. It's
Yeah.
because it was kind of informal. It was live. So you
Yeah.
get to hang out with us the way it really is.
Right.
Because during train night, we actually don't sit at this table.
Yep.
So let's go run some trains, guys.
All right,
All right,
sounds
let's run
good.
some trends. Thanks for watching,
All
guys.
righty.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.